This is
all
Two
over
Tired
again.
Dudes. Um, Mr. Fundead, why don't you kick us off here?
Alrighty. So for the podcast, what my idea was for the podcast was to talk about certain topics and ask certain questions and stuff like that. Tonight, my topic will be the two AAA games that have been fighting for first place for the Game of the Year. Which those two things would be God of War, the newest one, God of War Ragnarok, and uh, Elden, Elden Ring. Sorry, brain fart. Um, there has been a lot of controversy between the two games by themselves that a lot of players for Elden Ring, they see it as, yes, it's just like Dark Souls and everything else, and they've implemented some new items into the game, but a lot of them are also quitting it because of certain things that happen in the multiplayer section to where you can join into somebody else's gameplay and you can hide at a spot where you have to ride the mount to get to a certain spot. Well, see, whenever you invade somebody, you can't use that mount. You can't use your mount whenever you invade.
Okay.
So whenever um, someone invades and the other player that you're trying to attack is hiding up in, let's say, the church at the very top, you can't get to it because you have to use them out no matter what to get to that certain spot. So people are getting frustrated and irritated and quitting the game because of that issue. Because they don't want to sit there and wait, like, oh, I think it's, I don't want to be wrong, but I think it's like 30 seconds or something like that. But it's you wait for quite a while before that invasion is over. So some people just pretty much quit and then go back into the game,
Okay. Okay. Um,
which people also are returning that game because of certain glitches and issues and stuff like that.
oh yeah,
But
I first got to put out the irony here that we're talking about two big AAA games, and here we are playing like Minecraft, like the game, the
yeah,
game that
a
surpassed everything.
yeah, it has surpassed everything. It's been around since, oh, not 2000, not 2010. Can't be that far.
It's been a while, yeah, no doubt. I guess I mean it is hard. Like I mean, it is a topic that I am really curious to hear your thoughts on. Because for myself, obviously, right, I haven't played either one. Don't have a PS5, so I don't really see me playing God of War anytime soon. Um, but I do see a lot of what you're talking about, like right now on Twitter. It is a big topic of discussion because what there is that award show, right, that's coming up in the next couple days
Mm-hmm.
where they will pick Game of the Year. I guess if we're gonna think about it, like definitely, yeah. I mean, obviously, any kind of online technical issues will disappoint a lot of people, especially if they're not taking the time to fix it. But I guess when you look at it, right, to be fair, you'd have to almost look at it as a single player experience versus another single player experience. Because God of War, is from what I understand, right, that one won't have any online play. That'll just be a straight single player game, unless I'm wrong, right?
It is. Yeah, it's going to be strictly single player throughout the
Yeah.
whole game.
So I mean, I guess like
But
if I was to look at it, right, I would look at it as a single player experience versus another single player experience. Um,
yeah, so with the single player experience, like I was saying, the people have been running into glitches, and then as well with the single player experience, they have been noticing that some of the bosses you can't beat unless you get certain items and get strong enough and put certain perks into certain things because different bosses are weak to different things. But if you don't
True.
have that item or that weapon, you can't kill that boss effectively and easily and actually enjoy it. But most people, a lot of people that actually got the game enjoy the challenge and the hardship of it.
And that seems
Because,
like such a weird complaint. You know what I mean? Like when someone complains like about like I think Morrowind. Okay, example. Morrowind, the final boss of the game, you have to have a certain weapon in order to beat him. You can see him any point you want. Like you could literally just travel to Red Mountain, go through the Crapola dungeon, whatever, get to his boss lair, but you can't do shit to him unless you have that special, I think it's like a dagger or something. So it's not like that's like a new mechanic, right? So it's weird that people would actually be upset that they'd have to have a certain weapon to kill someone. Or even, oh, what's that one game? It was on the PlayStation 2. It was like a shinobi game. I can't remember the title of it right now. But anyway, the bosses in there, you could attack them and you could do like minimum damage, or you could do the proper combination, right? And you would take off like a quarter of their health or more. Like you could wipe them out a lot faster. The battle could literally go from taking 2 hours to taking like 10 minutes. So I don't know. Like to me, I don't know. Like I'm not good at all at Dark Souls games. So like I said, for me, it's not like I have a strong opinion on this. But just I don't know. It's weird that people would complain about like needing something to take down a boss when that's a pretty common game mechanic. I'm sure God of War will have something similar too. Like I'm sure you'll have to have certain weapons for that one.
just give me just a little bit. I have to take care of something. I am back. I do apologize.
No, no, no worries, buddy. I was just putting a poll up there for our viewers to pick from on how they thought about that game mechanic. And then I was just kind of looking at some stats here for Elden Ring. So, Elden Ring did beat Call of Duty as far as units sold. And currently, well, not currently, sorry, as of August 18th, they were still the top selling game of the year for just coming out in February. 17
Yep.
million copies sold though as of August 19th. So that's pretty damn impressive.
So, you know how that is, right?
Yeah.
So, God of War Ragnarok came out 3 days ago,
Yeah, let's
and
take a peek.
IGN rated it 10 out of 10.
Yeah, buddy.
Tech Radar rated it 5 out of 5. And Metacritic gave it a 94%.
So I wonder what that is compared to Elden Ring.
So, I can actually look that up. Elden Ring. Elden Ring, so Steam rated it 9 out of 10,
Okay.
and Metacritic rated it 96%.
Okay.
So, comparing the two, Metacritic liked Elden Ring more, but IGN and Tech Radar, two very big labels, rated it very high on their list.
I had to put a little fire under God of War too. I just looked at the original God of War 2018. It ended up selling 23 million units in its time span there. So I mean, it set the bar pretty high for the sequel. And I do know that the first God of War definitely got a lot of praise, especially storytelling.
Yes. So,
Where I do think like
um,
Elden Ring kind of drops the ball. I mean, again, I haven't played these games, so I can't really give an honest opinion, but just on perspective from what people have said, I don't think there was anything that really stood out in Elden Ring's story versus what's going to stand out in the God of War series.
so on Google, because you're able to go on Google, right?
Yep.
And you're able to rate things. But it says here 97% of Google users liked God of War Ragnarok.
That's pretty solid.
And then looking at Elden Ring, Um, Elden Ring. There it is. Only 93% of people, of Google users, liked it. So one, the Metacritic scale is in the percents, right? Well, they only have that 96% on God of War Ragnarok, because Steam didn't rate it 10 out of 10. They rated it 9 out of 10, which means there's room for improvement.
Okay.
But God of War Ragnarok, they have 2 full scores. Metacritic is still rated high, and Google users also rated high. And the absolute explosion of popularity and anticipation of this game was insane. There were so many people waiting for Ragnarok to happen, for Kratos to fight Thor and fight Odin and all of this. But with Elden Ring, there again a lot of anticipated like waiting. But see, Elden Ring, it was released, and then a lot of people played it. It gained popularity extremely fast, and then now on TikTok, right, which usually is like the main spot for any sort of news about video games, sports, anything. I've noticed, because it covers pretty much anything. Because I even get random videos from like sports, and I don't even follow any sports pages.
Yeah, that's true.
And I even get news broadcasts, but that's because I followed CNN. But we're not going to get into that. I don't see as many Elden Ring videos anymore. And it's kind of like with Forza Horizon 5. It was pushed, shoved, and then gained popularity extremely quick, and then it died off. And that's usually what happens with AAA labels. But God of War has been around for a really long time. And Elden Ring is part of Bloodborne, or not Bloodborne, Dark Souls series. There's actually a connection between Bloodborne, Elden Ring, and all the Dark Souls stuff.
They actually all tie together, that storyline? Wow.
Yes, they all like collide. Every single one that they've made is either at a different time, or it is something that can be tied to those games, like a little nod here and there.
That's pretty cool.
And a lot of people have been doing a lot of matching up, finding little hints, and everything else like that. And they intended it to be shoved for just like a plain Jane single game. But then people started to realize, oh, wait a minute, things are starting to connect. Let's use this and make it bigger. Because I don't think they fully intended for it all to connect and everything, but it did. And there's certain topics and everything for the game itself that just digs its heels into it and shows that that's right there. They are connected. But God of War, they've been making God of War since I think 2000.
Yeah, when you're going back to like the PS2 era, right? I mean, God of
Yeah.
War, even then, that game exploded on the scene. Like
Oh yeah,
it took very
absolutely.
little hype for that game to be in everybody's gaming library.
Yeah. It actually was released in 2005.
2005, yeah. So then what? You had three different series, right, for that generation. Plus there was
Yep.
the two on the PSP. So, I
Yep.
mean, it's a long legacy. Like I mean, Dark Souls definitely has a little bit of a legacy itself, from Demon Souls all the way upwards.
So
But God of War definitely has, I think, more fan base following it. I'd say.
Dark Souls was pumped out in 2011.
Wait, what was Demon Souls? Because that would be the first one, right?
So Demon Souls. So it seems like Demon Souls was released in 2009.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Okay, not okay. I didn't think it was that old.
Yeah, that's wild, and it does actually have the the Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, and then Dark Souls Abyss, which they were all pretty much released pretty early, actually, just like God of War was, like in 2005. Um,
Not gonna lie. Now you have a little bit of like a background to this. Even though like if you were to ask me right now who would win, I would just say God of War. On the sole factor that it forget everything else we said, right? The fact that it's coming out last, it is gonna be fresh in everybody's head. You know what I mean? Like you said, this is a game everyone was waiting for. They've had whatever it is, 6, 7 months to play Elden Ring. It's had its phase, right? So if Elden Ring was to have come out, let's say maybe a month ago, I feel like it would have a stronger chance. But it's been a while since it's been out now.
yeah,
So
it's been a quite a long time since everybody's been like, "Are you getting on Elden Ring? Did you know that there's
exactly,
multiplayer now?"
exactly. You hit the nail on the head with that first point you made. Just saying, like the hype of itself has died out, and now you're hearing more of the negative feedback.
Yep. And then once you see, if okay, so if you go on YouTube, not to put a plug in any YouTubers, but um,
No, no, go for it.
Jacksepticeye.
Okay.
Jacksepticeye has been streaming the game, and let's just put into the factor of he played the first one, and he even said that it was the longest, running series that he had to do, but he loved every second of it, every single second. But looking at this video that he just posted 8 hours ago for Ragnarok, he already has, let's see, 51,000 likes.
That's crazy. I mean, it makes total sense. It's a brand new game, right? It's what's on everybody's mind right now. What about you though, Fundead? So we both agreed that this would probably get Game of the Year. But in your opinion, because you actually did play Elden Ring, um, who would get the
I
title?
I did actually play Elden Ring. I truly do think that God of War will get the Game of the Year award, because personally I've played Elden Ring, I've played Dark Souls, I've played Bloodborne, I've played all the others.
Okay.
It Elden Ring does not live up to the expectations of Bloodborne, Dark Souls, all that.
Wow. Okay.
It just doesn't. It did not live up to my expectations and a lot of other people's expectations.
What was it? I guess
Um,
that it dropped the ball on for you.
Combat, actually,
Combat. Okay.
it made everything very jagged. It wasn't. Everybody kept saying it was fluent, but for me personally, it was not fluid. It did not move like fluid. It it moved kind of like if you were sawing wood with a really old rusty saw.
You know, that's
It
not the first
it
time I was gonna
didn't
say
want
I
to
heard that.
run.
I feel like I feel Elden Ring, I guess, was a little bit different of an element, because so many new people who never played Dark Souls before, like yourself, right, jumped into it. Which is also how a lot of the games got returned in the beginning, because people were like, "Wow, this game's actually way too hard for me." It's like, well, yeah, what'd you think it was? But yeah, I did
Yeah,
hear that from a
it's
lot
a
of
game to humble yourself
yeah,
pretty quick.
I did hear that from a lot of people though, that like a lot of experienced Dark Souls players, that they found the combat was a little bit off.
Yeah, the combat inside of the game is very lacking. It's almost to the point where I started to play it and I played for a little bit with one character. I'm like, okay, well, let's try the other characters because I don't like this. Go play for a little bit with that one. Okay, I don't like this one either, or this one, or this one, and again, and again, and again, and it just ended up with me having to use a naked character, like nothing, no perks, no nothing on him. And that's how Dark Souls used to be. Like you used to be the weakest character out of everything. There wasn't like massive big classes. You'd have to make your class. You didn't just start out with things and just like enjoy the game. You had to work for the stuff, which made you appreciate the game and enjoy the game.
Yeah, because I think in the second one that I ended up playing, you got like one cool item, and that was it. But even the item that was supposed to be
Yeah,
cool,
that is it.
yeah, it wasn't anything special. Like it wasn't that amazing.
Like Bloodborne, you are only able to choose your weapon. No buffs to your character, no nothing, no skills added, no like plus 10 to like your strength or health or whatever. It was strictly just, okay, do you want a chain whip? Do you want a sword? Do you want an axe? Do you want a gun? But this one is like, hey, we have a whole slew of stuff. Choose what you like, and if you like it, you can stick with it. If not, you can quit the game and start all over again. And I literally had to end the game and just to get to a certain spot because I was just horrible with the combat. I had to look up a walkthrough to get certain items, and I hate looking at walkthroughs. I just want to play the game and enjoy the game and figure it out on my own. Because walkthroughs are nice and all, but it takes away from the experience of finding things on your own and feeling like you achieved something
That's
in
true.
massive quantity.
That's actually a very solid point. I felt many times, like nowadays, right? Because it's so easy to Google, um,
Yeah.
where you want to, yeah. It just kind of takes away that experience you used to feel as a kid when you're like, yeah, I fucking solved this.
Yeah, which also brings to my attention a game that they should have gone off with for like the puzzles and stuff. That this is my opinion on every single game that has puzzles. There's a game out there that I don't know if anybody remembers this game. They should, because it's fantastic. It is Darksiders 2. Is wherever you play as Death, one of the riders, the
Okay.
Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
And the puzzles in that game were difficult, but not so difficult to the point where you had to look up a walkthrough. You would just struggle, but after like maybe 10 minutes of thinking, you go, "Oh, that's how I do it." But in Elden Ring, there's like it's not really puzzles, it's more of you're not strong enough. Come back when you're strong enough. Go get more health, go get more strength, go get more stamina. Go get more of this, go get more of that. Well, there's only a certain amount of stuff inside of the beginning area that you can actually do. And matter of fact, there's a one enemy that if you try to square up with that character, with that enemy, you will get killed in a matter of either one hit or two hits, depending on which class you choose to run with.
Yeah, I think I heard something about that where like the first, if it's the first boss or first whatever, is really supposed to
It's
like,
the it is the first mini boss, and
oh,
he's literally there to humble you.
yeah, yeah.
He's there to kick your ass, and he does a damn good job at what he does. I can say that for a fact because I don't know how many times I faced up with him just because I was so arrogant. I'm just like I want to get I want to get this kill. I actually want to win because I kept dying over and over again with different fights and even with small fights with people. I just wasn't able to do it. I was running around in circles, getting my head wrapped around a tree.
Yeah, I know it is possible to beat them, but yeah, apparently it takes a little bit of work to actually to do so. Either way, I think gamers won this year. Now going through the facts and seeing the history behind both games. I can't think of two better. Like, this is that kind of wrestling match you'd be exciting for, you know, like two heavy hitters
Right? Yeah.
hitting the
Like
arena.
everybody anticipates this.
Yeah, yeah. So I think if there was two games to go for that award, it's nice to see that it was Elden Ring and God of War, which led me to my point. For you, I asked earlier, and even though these games are exciting and a lot of people are, you know, enthusiastic about them, if you were to ask me if I was to pre-order this, I would probably tell you no. And that's because I don't know what the hell is wrong with me, but I haven't been excited about a game
Oh
since
no.
Halo 2. And I was just curious, Funded, do you feel the same way? Like, do you actually get excited over a game? You're like, I gotta pre-order this, I gotta get it. Like, I can't remember the last time I felt
So
I needed to pre-order something.
I so I didn't exactly pre-order the game, but on day one, on the second it dropped, I bought the game. I'll give you a wild guess of what it is. And it's one of the games I was anticipating since the first one ended.
Oh,
And that was,
Dying Light?
yes, Dying Light
Yeah.
2. I was so stoked about Dying Light 2. And whenever they like came out with Dying Light 2, like the preview, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's just like the first one. And then I started watching more of them because they started dropping more. Because you noticed people are like, yeah, whatever, it's the same thing, whatever. You literally were getting irritated with uh, Dead Island because they kept making the same thing.
Yep.
But if you get deeper into the mechanics of the game, it is not the same whatsoever. In Dying Light 1, your running and your jumping doesn't exactly carry the same momentum as it would in real life. Like, you jump and then your momentum would be lost pretty much almost instantly. Like, you'd get that arc
Okay.
and that angle, but it wouldn't be like real life. Well, in Dying Light 2, you can straight up sprint, run, and hit your face against the wall. And you might grab it or you might not, depending on where you look and how you aim and everything. How you jump, where you jump, your timing, everything. I was so anticipated about the free running. Because I have not had a game that can master free running. Not even edge runners. Not edge runners. What is it called? Um, Mirror's Edge. I didn't
Okay.
like Mirror's Edge. I hated Mirror's Edge. I despised that game because the controls were all sorts of wonky. The second one, they made it a little better with the controls, but they still stuck with certain things that it didn't make sense. But in this one, at least, like, you know, the jump button for the first one is the jump button for the second one. The running is just like other games. The searching for things is just like other games. The combat, the storyline, everything. I was so anticipated for this game. I was literally watching the clock to see when it was supposed to drop. And as
Aw.
soon as I saw 0, I instantly got on the Xbox, instantly looked it up on the store, and I looked at it, and I noticed it wasn't ready to buy. It was going off of Pacific Standard Time, which
Okay.
means I had to wait another hour to get this game. And I was just sitting there, waiting, and waiting, and just thinking to myself, as soon as I get this game, I swear to God, as soon as it downloads, I'm gonna play it until it's dead. Well, lo and behold, I played it. I beat it in a matter of, I think it was 18 hours to beat the main storyline, which,
That doesn't seem too bad. 18 hours? Like, that's pretty quick.
and what's crazy is that if you play Dying Light 2, just the story, just the main objective, it'll take you 24 hours, but see, I beat it in 18 hours. Because of the experience I had with the first game. I knew how the mechanics ran. I knew what people would do. I knew exactly what to do, how to react, and how to jump, how to climb, everything. But
Yeah.
the thing that made me anticipate the game is the storyline itself. They flipped it on its head. I thought it was going to be like, okay, cool. Crane's going back in, and cool, we're going to get Crane. Nope. Uh-uh. We got a completely new character. His name was Aiden. He was a pilgrim, aka he was a messenger, but he teams up with an old NPC called Spike. Well, in the first game, I don't know if you've seen his name, but Spike is one of the people you take the care packages to,
Oh, okay.
and he's old. He's aged. They took the years and pushed it. They put little Easter eggs inside of it, even like the very first section that you go into. They put an Easter egg in there about Dead Island. You know Sam B's song "Hoodoo You Voodoo"?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That song, yeah.
They put a fucking record with that inside of the first section you go into, the first house. It is technically supposed to be his like little penthouse thing,
Oh, that's so cool.
and it's like it's insane.
Ooh,
And right, that's what I did too. And "Hoodoo You Voodoo, bitch, stand up!"
bitch. No, that's awesome. That's really cool. They actually did that in there. And I was just
But
looking at
the voice actor, they made him say this one thing:
what's that?
"Hoodoo You Voodoo." Sounds familiar. It's like because they helped make Dead Island. They were part of the development team for Dead Island. They quit after Dead Island Riptide because they were trying to make another game exactly the same fucking thing. Stranded on an island, not having anything to go, escaping at the end, fighting a big boss at the end that turns themselves into a giant fucking monster. But see, in Dying Light 2, the main boss is already a monster. He's not mutated or anything. He looks normal, but he's like Aiden.
Oh, okay.
So Aiden gets infected, and after he gets infected by a night hunter, which night hunters are like the elite, the top of foot zombies. Like no other zombies can top what they can do. They can spit, they can run, they can climb, they can jump.
Were those the guys that we were fighting when it goes dark out?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, those things are
Those,
fucking insane.
yeah, those. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking whenever they made those, but god damn, dude, they were off the rocker. That's for sure. They're like, you know what? Fuck it, let's make a zombie that's super hard to kill, but every time you kill it, you get really good shit. So therefore, they had the right idea for like a zombie game. They were over here making games that were able to be ran and be good while they ran. And while they were running it, they decided to go, okay, let's try something new for the next one. Well, they didn't make a next one. They just added something to the first game, which the thing that they added to the first game is be the zombie mode, which everybody thought was like, okay, it's just gonna be like what, like the second part. What is this supposed to be? It's actually supposed to be the third part that you play. It's supposed to be the third section that you like gets your focus. The first one is the main story for Dying Light.
Okay.
The second one is the expansion for Dying Light, the DLC for Dying Light. That's supposed to be the second part for Crane's story. But see, what if you don't play that expansion, you have no idea why you go to a completely different person for the second one. For that expansion, Crane actually dies from his infection. Because at the very beginning, he gets bit, just like Aiden does. But he doesn't have the inhibitors. He's not already infected with the virus and the genes that he has and everything. He's just a normal agent that's out in the active duty section that just got really fucked up really quick.
Oh, okay.
He's just a government agent that met a really, really rough ending. But in the end of that expansion, you can see him start to change and morph and gain a different kind of conscience. And he's noticing that he's feeling hunger and rage and just absolute terrifying ideas. Well, there is a way to the new town in the expansion, and he finds it, but by the time he finds it, he's already transformed into a Night Stalker, which is completely different from a Night Hunter. A Night Stalker, they have weird tentacle things, they're able to launch themselves around everywhere. It's kind of like Spider-Man. Yeah, it's fucking
Oh,
wild.
okay, okay.
And the third part is Be the Zombie. You're supposed to still be playing Crane, but instead of helping the people, you're hunting them. Because your conscience as a human is gone.
That's pretty cool. That's actually kind of cool. Like for an
And
expansion,
I
that's a pretty neat idea for an expansion.
I played Be the Zombie because I beat both of them. So I'm like, okay, fuck it, let's try it. I recently started doing it, and I recently stopped doing it because of one certain thing. It is so fucking unbalanced for the players against the damn zombies. If you are a one-on-one with a Night Stalker, you're fucked, no matter
Yeah.
what. Because these things can jump around, they can launch themselves at you, they can pounce, they can shoot you with like a horde spit, they can disable your UAV, like your UV light. They can seriously mess up your gameplay. And that's why a lot of people, they don't have the be the zombie mode active, because they don't want their gameplay to be ruined in like the first half. They don't want to actually like have to fight this big, mean, monstrous thing. They want to just play the main story, and then maybe after they actually get fully leveled up, absolutely 100% the character, then they might dig their heels into it. But that's only if they feel absolutely comfortable with it, because of how unbalanced it is. But in the Dying Light 2, Aiden is a lab rat of a certain doctor that was testing out like cures, or sorry, false cures, talking about how he'll save the world and save the planet, he'll cure the disease. Just he has to have Aiden's help. He has to have Aiden be a lab rat, and he has to be his guinea pig.
Okay.
This was whenever he was like 10, not even 10, and he was doing all this studying and tests and everything. 98% of those kids died from those tests.
Look at
He
it.
was one
Dying
of
Light
the
has a pretty
sole.
cool story to it.
Yeah, so Dying Light was it. I instantly fell in love with it because I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" Like it's another zombie game. I've always loved zombie games. I will always enjoy zombie games because I fell in love whenever it was Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I fell in love with the zombies in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 because you were able to run around, shoot them in the face, make shit, run away on a bus,
It's true.
go
That game
throughout, and
definitely
then
took
like,
zombies to the next level.
oh my god, dude, yeah, that game is immaculate. If they remastered that game now with the graphics we have now and did zombies and everything and all that, it would explode.
Like it's funny. I could remember like some zombie levels from the other Call of Duties, but that first experience, I think you're in a little cabin and you just have to like work your way through it. I remember which Call of Duty it was, but it was the first one to introduce zombies. That one I remember like to this day. Like it was good. It was fun. There was no power
Fucking
ups, no
Call of Duty
nothing.
Black Ops.
Yeah, you just fucking raw
Yep.
dog the shit out of
Yep.
it.
Yeah. Because that's the only way you're able to. And
Yeah,
then as soon as you reach like Hellhound level, you were like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening now?
exactly.
You heard his laugh, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was that level, and
Okay.
I think you had the underground mine. That was the other level you could play.
Yeah, yeah, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I should not have done this one. Not at all. Ooh, fuck. And then there is like the theater and everything else from one, and all the storyline from that, zombies and everything. That was fantastic, don't get me wrong, but two took the cake for me because I just fell in love with two so goddamn quickly. It made no sense to anybody in my family how I could just love this game. It's just literally running around shooting zombies in the face. What's so great about it? And then all I had to tell them is crazy Russian scientist that is trying to control zombies, and you're able to shoot him in the face at the end.
Yep.
And then instantly they all like, okay, cool, you're getting revenge for like the world.
I mean,
Now
it
I
is
get it,
true
you're
though.
being the
Like,
hero in the story.
it is such a simple like idea, right? And the fact that like Call of Duty uses it, it still blows me away that they did zombies the best. But like, I mean, if
Yeah,
any other game
absolutely.
picked it up, right, it would have been the same. But somehow Call of Duty just it, I don't know, it really
No,
captured
it would
something.
not have been the same.
Yeah.
The developers for Call of Duty saw the opportunity and said, you know what? Fuck all y'all. We running with this shit. We're taking over the zombie thing. And then they fucked up and made Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And don't even get me started on Call of Duty Black Ops 3. It's a piece of shit and nobody wants to fucking play it anymore because of how many bugs is inside that bitch.
Or that's like what was another one they had in between it all too? Advanced Warfare, where it turned into
Oh
like
my god,
aliens. I
dude.
was like, why aliens? Just stick with
Yeah, what
zombies.
the fuck? Right? No, don't go above and beyond with like the surviving thing. Advanced Warfare, yes, that portion of it was pretty fucking cool. Don't get me wrong. Just because, like, okay, they replaced the Hellhounds with like these little fucking alien things that run around and shit, and they're able to
Yeah.
get you. Cool. It's like I can play Aliens, Colonial Marines and do the same shit, although these motherfuckers can hide and they're way faster. Instead of me going to a Call of Duty game where it's like, okay, cool, I get a chance to like use a pistol, or okay, cool, they gave me an AK like 7 for you, or whatever it is. I can't. It's AK. Yeah, I think it's something to line with that gun, but it's like a single shot assault rifle
Yeah.
that you can switch between a burst and a single shot, and it's absolute shit. In that game, they ruined that gun. But see, in the newest one, let's put the new game out there.
Sure.
Modern Warfare 2 remastered. Oh my god, they brought the motherfucker back. They brought the gun fucking back. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, okay, I gotta get the fucking game. I have to get this game. Because I rocked absolute shit with that gun. I was a mean little bastard whenever I had that gun. Because just like in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the one that they made beforehand that had like Cold War and all of that added on to it, I was running in multiplayer hardcore, but I always ran with like that kind of gun because I like the single fire stuff, like bolt action, semi-automatic, that kind of thing. I run with it because I like it. It's enjoyable and it's fun because it gives me a challenge. Like if I miss a shot, oops. But I got so good using the FAL in multiplayer hardcore, team deathmatch, or uh, like all out war, or just deathmatch. I got so good using the FAL that I was like, okay, cool, I'm bored now. So I'm hoping with them bringing back the AK4U, it will be like a challenge kind of thing. Like I'll have to muscle memory. I have to dig deep in my subconscious to try to figure out how to use this gun again. But what is a game that you personally are anticipating for like the upcoming years, or even like if it does happen, what game would you just like fall in love with?
See, like that's what I mean. Like, it's nice to hear you because like you're so passionate, right, about Dying Light, and you could tell it was a game you were waiting for. And it's like I think like I really thought about this question, right? And it's just like there is nothing it seems that I would be like, holy moly, I gotta go out and buy this right now and just own this shit. I will say though that I do feel like I missed a little bit of an opportunity. I'll try to figure out a way to get it probably after Christmas. But Sonic Frontiers,
Oh,
I
the open world Sonic, yeah.
yeah, I kind of really want to try it. Like I really did enjoy Sonic Adventure. And I wonder if that's what's kind of driving that decision. Like it's not again, it's not something I saw gameplay. Like I really didn't see any trailers. I didn't see any gameplay for this yet. It's just the idea they had behind it where they were like an open world Sonic Adventure game. And I was like, man, I fucking love Sonic Adventure. And open world, that just sounds dope. So that's pretty much my
Right,
driving force behind
I
that whole decision. Um,
right, but I completely agree with you on this because that's actually one of the games I would look forward to. I just don't. I didn't play Sonic enough as a kid to really enjoy it that much. I played Sonic Unleashed, if you remember what that was.
yeah, I
That
know, I
was
do
that
remember
was
that
pretty
title.
cool. Um, but I actually saw some gameplay for that game, like a teaser gameplay for Sonic Frontier. And if you like open world stuff, you like Sonic, you like how he moves and how he runs around, and if you've watched like some of the cartoons and stuff, and saw like what he does and saw some of the stuff he does, and you've never played any of the games, you want to play that game. It's that fucking cool.
I
I saw a
do.
gameplay where he was running up a giant's fucking leg, and I lost my shit because I'm like, that's a really big fucking enemy. I know how big Sonic is, but that's a really big fucking enemy.
See that? Yeah, there's a lot of Sonic games I would like to go back to. Like I did Sonic Adventure, I did Sonic Adventure 2. I did obviously the old school ones because I grew up in that timeline. So I did Sonic Adventure or Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, and all that jazz. Um, but as far as newer Sonic games go, yeah, I haven't tried any after Sonic Adventure 2. So I would like to go back and actually play some of those. I know, luckily enough, Game Pass had a few on there.
Did were you able to play Unleashed?
No, I didn't play
I,
Unleashed
I
either.
so I think that one was released on the Wii, and that's how I played it. Um,
Oh.
I can tell you this much: they did the absolute best mechanics for the Wii that I've ever fucking seen. It was insane. I had so much fun doing it just because of the fact that it's Sonic. He turns into like a werehog and runs around and destroys shit. That's fucking cool. And it actually has a fucking storyline. Like that's one of the most craziest things because it's such an old game that has already a wild storyline that it's just like, okay, this is different. This is cool. I think I'm gonna like this.
Actually, thank you
This
for
is my
reminding
life
me.
now.
I didn't play it, but I do have a copy of Sonic and the Secret Rings from the Wii era. I forgot there was that
Oh
game
my
too.
gosh. Yeah, I do remember that one.
Um, yeah, I think the only thing like recent wise I've played for Sonic was Sonic's Racing, the All Star Racing series, which is super
Oh
good.
yeah.
That's actually incredibly well done game than what I was expecting it to be. But yeah, I guess
Yeah,
other than that,
I
it would
always think of
be
like that, like Mario Kart. Okay, cool. It's just another Mario Kart. But no.
yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. It's different when a company like takes that, I guess, cartoony style and then they own it. I haven't tried Crash Team Racing. I heard that one's pretty good too, the newer one.
So, funny enough, Crash Team Racing is not new.
Yeah, there was a PlayStation version, right? Back in the day, like PS1.
Yes, it was a PlayStation version. Then they made a PlayStation 2 version to go up with it too.
Oh, wow.
And um it just fucking blew up. I played it even. I fucking loved it. You're able to go around like this amusement park as Crash Bandicoot, literally like hear what he says, what he does, and pretty much live as Crash Bandicoot in like this open world kind of amusement park that you had to do certain things and certain task items to unlock more of the park.
That's really
And
cool.
I love games like that where you have to work for what you want. I don't like the fact that you're able to get whatever you want in certain games because it's just like, oh yeah, cool, here you go, yeah, here you go, yeah, whatever. It's like, no, I want to work for my shit, goddammit. I want that hardship. I want to feel like I accomplished something. And
Um,
I fear that most of the kids nowadays growing up with all these games with like pretty much like giveaways and stuff like that of certain items and certain perks and stuff like that, they're not going to understand like the kind of games we played until they get their hands on it. And getting your hands on some of the games we played, it's pretty fucking hard nowadays.
oh yeah, I 100% agree with that. Not to derail the original conversation because there is one other game that yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to. But speaking of racing games, because now we got this started here. If you haven't tried it yet, another fantastic one was South Park Rally. So good. Oh my god. I don't know why they haven't remade that game. It was a fantastic racing game. All the South Park characters were in it. So fucking funny.
So
The weapons were fantastic too.
I'm gonna shock the ever loving fuck out of you right now.
What's that, buddy?
With the way I talk and the way I act, you think I would have at least watched South Park, right?
Not a single episode?
I've I haven't seen a single episode
Oh, that's a damn shame.
because I always saw it as wow, this show's really fucking retarded. This show's really
It
stupid.
totally
And
is
now
though.
that I'm growing the fuck up, I understand more now. It's like, oh wait, hold on, wait a fucking minute. This shit's actually funny as fuck. Like it's to the stupidity level of wait, it doesn't matter if it's stupid. It's still fucking hilarious.
No, but it is so true. Like South Park can be so stupid sometimes, but I love that.
Well, it's just like Family Guy or The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, totally.
It wasn't aimed towards even young teens. It was a cartoon for adults. Like Futurama was for like adults and teens.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. It was aimed for adults and pretty much strictly for adults because some of the jokes inside of it is
Oh yeah.
pretty damn bad.
Oh, okay. I'm probably gonna screw up the game. But I think it was on PlayStation One. Oh, that famous golfer. My God, I can't believe I forgot his name. Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods game. If you put the disc in your PC, you got to see the first episode of South Park. Someone just threw it on
Yeah,
there for the hell of it.
they did that because the coding was so similar. They're like, okay, well, let's
Just
just
gonna
put a
put this
show in
on
there.
here.
Fuck
Fuck
it.
my boss. But yeah,
And I
South
don't.
Park Rally, like, even if you don't like South Park, just the stupidness. Like, there's anal probe you could throw at someone. There was, like, yeah, just stupid ass weapons. And it was so much fun. And the levels were just ridiculous. Like, it was all places you've seen in South Park, but they, just racing through them just made it just ridiculous. It was really good.
That yeah, I completely understand that because just like whenever they remade Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and all that, right? I hopped on immediately for Spyro because I grew up on Spyro. I played a Spyro game where he was literally getting his own powers again, like his breath. I can't remember the name or even what it was genuinely made for because it's been that long. I didn't even beat that game, but I adore that game. Just because it had Spyro and it also had another character in it that you're able to play. Which it's actually quite shocking that they did add that character in there, but then you see like Skylanders and everything. You see them both there.
Yep.
They talk, they chat, and everything else like that. And Skylanders, that I played that whenever I was a kid. Even I hopped on that and like on the Wii, I enjoyed it because I was like, okay, cool, yeah, fuck it, this is fun. And I'm definitely showing my age whenever I say I played that as a kid. Um,
I was gonna.
because Skylanders came out in like what 2010.
Yeah, I want to say yeah. Skylanders was around 2010. When I first saw that game come out too, I was like, "Why the fuck is there toys? I don't understand this."
Right? Yeah, this is what I was saying. Like whenever it first came out, like, what the fuck is this? But see, and once you actually realize that Skylanders is um is not like its own standalone thing, it's actually part of this Spyro series.
Yeah, yeah, right. That's all part of
It's
the
part of
world.
Spyro's story. It's part of his story of growing up. So just to make us both feel old because we both grew up on Spyro, right?
Yeah,
Spyro was made in 1998.
1998. Okay, yeah, that
I
makes
wasn't
sense.
even alive, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I grew up on it. I grew up on that, Pac-Man Adventures, and like so many other classic games now that they call classic games now. Like people don't even know what Sly Cooper is anymore.
It's so funny you say that. I was just gonna say, out of like the big three in that time, Crash Bandicoot, Sly Cooper, Spyro. Okay, no, I guess four of them because Ratchet and Clank would be another one.
Oh my god, dude, Ratchet and Clank, fuck yeah.
I would definitely say out of all four of those, if I had the chance to have a remake out of them, I would want Sly Cooper. I fucking love Sly Cooper so much. It
You
was such a good experience.
you wanna fucking know something that I figured out yesterday?
What's
And
that?
I'm so pissed off about this. I am so fucking pissed off. So the creators of Sly Cooper, right? Punch Out, I believe. That's
Yeah,
what the
Punch Out. Yeah.
makers were. They're not going to make a remake or another Sly Cooper game in any near future.
Wow, what a missed opportunity.
They could get so much fucking money from remaking the first one alone. Literally keeping the story and everything, just making the
Yeah,
graphics better.
that's so
They would be able to
bizarre.
make fucking millions off of that game
They just
because of
want to
how the
focus
story
on
was
like
played,
another
dude.
game or what?
Yeah, they're yes, they're actually focusing on two. Punch Out.
Like I know it'd take a lot of work probably to remake it or whatever for today's graphics, but still that seems like a money pit. Like I'm surprised that I'd be surprised if Sly Cooper isn't as popular as I'm thinking it would be with other people.
So Sly Cooper was actually first released in 2002, 1 year after I was born.
Wow. Okay, so I
One
mean it's
year after I was born.
okay, so it's got the same decent back time as Spyro would have then.
Yeah, it's around that classical era. It's around that era of when games were actually games. They came out fully released, no DLC, no issues, no problems, no extra shit. They just came out as they were. And I, okay, I'm going to blow your fucking mind.
You're gonna put that up for
I
you guys.
have, I have the original Sly Cooper too.
Nice.
I have every single gaming, like I have every single game book that came in the case. and it's actually supposed to be the Thebes raccoonus. They put in bits and pieces of the Thebes raccoonus in those little handbooks, and it shows like the little raccoon moving around like on the book and everything, and
Yeah.
showing them how they roll and jump and do the weird twisty shit and everything. And on the first one, the book is in premium condition. The second one, it's starting to fall apart. And then on the third one, it's desolated. It's just falling apart, ripping at the seams. There's just folds falling off and everything.
I'm pretty sure that's the one I still have is number 3.
I have 1, 2, 3, and I've played and beat the fourth one.
Oh wow, I forgot there was
Actually,
a fourth one.
100%. I've actually 100% the fourth one.
Nice.
And it was Sucker Punch that made it. And what even pisses me off even more? This is the biggest irritation too. Do you know what? Do you remember Infamous,
Oh yeah.
the fucking 2009 game?
Yeah, Infinite
Well,
Infinite was huge.
they're not making any more Infamous anytime soon either.
Such goddamn bullshit.
Do
Like
you...
I swear to God. They get a good game series, they're
This-
like, fuck you, we're not making any more of this.
the one thing that they are focusing on, and it pisses me off so much, because I've never played it. I don't know anything about this game. It's not that popular. It's not that big in my head. And it's Ghost of Tsushima. A fucking samurai game.
Yeah, out of all the Dark Souls ones, I feel like that one and what was the other one? The Surge. Or at least the Surge 2. Didn't get that much hype built around it.
Yeah, it wasn't... It got shadowed by fucking Elden Ring.
Yeah, like it didn't really I don't know.
Do you know when this game came out?
When's that?
July 17th, dude.
Oh wow.
2020. That was 2 years ago. That's whenever it came out. And it came out for PlayStation 4 and 5. That's it.
Yeah, PlayStation exclusive, that's right.
And they choose to focus on this game alone?
You bastards.
Are you fucking kidding me? They could make so much money from just remaking Infamous alone. Even Infamous graphics were way higher than what they should have been for that time of year. 2011 was just whenever they started getting into the next gen. They're just starting to crank in and tap into the good graphics. For like PlayStation and Xbox and stuff like that. Computers have always rivaled and always towered over the consoles.
Oh, totally. Like, I mean,
For
hands down,
graphics.
PC is definitely probably. For the way I want to defend consoles, PC is the better choice. You know, if you're going for gaming, like,
It is absolutely the better choice.
but when it comes down to the experience, I think that's when you get that divide, right? Like, me too. I grew up on consoles. I will die with a console. Like, I just.
Absolutely.
I can't
will have
picture
at least
gaming
one
without a
console
controller in my
fucking
hand
house.
and looking at a TV. Like,
Right? Yeah, that's how I grew up. I grew up like sitting like mere inches away from the TV watching like Pong.
yeah, right? Like, yeah. It's just, I don't know. It hits different.
Playing Donkey Kong on the PlayStation, bro. Or like Nintendo, like I believe it was Nintendo 64 that I had. And Game Boy. I recently just sold my Game Boy because I don't have a charger for it. And it was one of the original Game Boys that my grandfather
Oh, the
gave
nice
me.
big gray brick.
No. This was the Game Boy that they just then made it small into
The
a
Game
little
Boy Pocket?
square. And it folded up.
Oh, the SP.
It was one of the only Game Boys that came in blue, and it was Game Boy Blue. That was the blue that it came in. It was Game Boy Blue.
Oh, really?
Everybody
Oh,
knew that blue. Everybody knew that Game Boy, if it came in blue, yeah, cool. That's awesome. But then people started making like custom skins for it. Like the Game Boy actually started getting more popular recently. That I found out after I fucking sold mine. It became so popular that people are making skins for it and cases for it and everything.
wow.
Again. And I took my games, which were a total of maybe 5 games that I didn't play anymore, my Game Boy, and I went into vintage stock and I traded in those things. Well, after he was done counting all the games, checking all that they all worked, and made sure that they would run, stuff like that, charged up the Game Boy, made sure it ran, it was all peachy keen and all good. He called me up to the counter, and he's like, okay, so do you want store credit or cash? I'm like, well, how much cash would it get? He's like, about $60. $60
Yeah, that's pretty shit.
for 5 games and a console, a handheld console. And he's like, that's just because I have to lowball you. I'm like, okay, what about store credit? He's like, I'll give you $90 worth of store credit. 90 fucking bucks, excuse me? For games, for Xbox One games, the newer games that came out.
Wow.
And they weren't even popular games. Not at all. And the only reason why like 2 of them were popular was because one of them was fucking Elden Ring. I sold that bitch.
Oh, did you? Wow. Okay.
I fucking sold it. I can't play it anymore. I can't. It doesn't allow me to do multiplayer anymore. So
See,
it's like,
that
okay,
alone,
fuck
you
it. It's not
probably
worth
paid
it
what,
then.
$90 for Elden Ring when you got it originally?
Damn near 80, yeah.
Yeah, see, that is kind of a rip-off.
So, but well, at the same time, that just shows you the popularity decrease.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know if they're gonna sell that game. And funny enough, I went back over to their shelves and I saw it on the shelf. So now they have 2.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, Elden Ring, somehow somewhere you guys fucked up. Me personally, I don't like game, but if that's just my it's just not my taste. I don't like the rough edges. I don't like being on edge and being anxious about just walking across a fucking bridge. I
Like,
don't like that.
like I would definitely play God of War, like we were saying earlier. But I do want, like, I don't want to spend again $80 on a game, but I definitely do want to try one of those Dark Souls games, whether it's Elden Ring or
So
another one, doesn't matter. But I would like to get into that experience just to see what it's like.
so if you would ever play like an Elden Ring esque game, right? You can get on the Xbox a game just like Elden Ring, like the difficulty level, like it's fucking nightmare fuel. It will humble the fuck out of you. You think that you're an absolute god at most games? No, this game will fucking humble you. I promise you. It humbled me even. I I I haven't passed the first boss yet, and I have binged games like this before. I cannot pass the first fucking boss. I can't pass the first section without getting jumped by 8 people
Wow.
and then getting my ass handed to me by the fucking boss because I'm like maybe like 20 points of health maybe out of like 200 and something.
And is
And
it on
I've
Game
played.
Pass or?
It is on Game Pass. That's
Oh,
why I'm saying
nice.
this. It is on Game Pass, and actually, I might be able to find it um, through my app on my phone and tell you what it is. Therefore, people that are watching the stream and listening to me talk, even though I know it's probably atrocious to hear me talk sometimes.
Aw, no way, dude. You got a nice voice.
I don't know. I've been working all day, so I'm pretty rough around the edges at the moment.
We did
Our
get a vote
voices
in
all
though,
gravelly and shit.
and one other person did agree with us that they would get Sly Cooper if it got remade.
Fuck
So
yes.
there's your one goddamn
Yes.
sale, sucker punch. Just kidding.
Exactly, motherfuckers. Fucking do it, sons of bitches. God, that pissed me off so fucking much when I found that out. Like, okay, so, you know, there's a movie coming out called Bad Animals. Or, like, something like that, right?
Okay.
I'm still waiting for my Bad Animals. Where's my Sly Cooper, bitch? Where's that movie, huh? That shit
That's a
was
good
supposed to come
one.
out in 2012. What the fuck is it? Or no, not even 2012. It was supposed to come out in 2020. Where the fuck is it, guys? Come on. You're slacking. You're slowing down your process. And all your progress is going out the fucking window. I even saw the trailer for it on TV, dude. And my mom looks at me dead in the eyes, and she sees my face light up. Like, immediately, I'm like, oh my god, they're making a movie. And she's like, calm down, because I have ADHD. I will bounce off the fucking walls for an hour if I get too excited.
I feel you,
Like,
buddy.
it is absolutely god awful atrocious how loud I got whenever I figured out they were making a movie. And then after that, I'm like, okay, I gotta do my research. I have to look this up. So I go on my phone, type up Sly Cooper movie, and nothing popped up. I'm like, what? So I did a little more digging, and it's just an idea that they were putting out there that they animated a short clip of.
Oh, okay.
And but see, then they fucked up and gave me a release date.
That's where
Ooh
they give
boy,
you
did
a
they fuck up.
release date.
Here's the game, by the way. It's called Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition. It is on Game Pass. If you ever
Oh,
want to try it, it is fan-fucking-tastic. It is
yeah,
such a
I have
hard
heard that name
goddamn game.
before.
You're able to play an instrument inside the game, by the way, and learn the instrument enough to where you actually are able to play the songs inside of the game. But just to give you an idea of my progress on this game, I only have 4 achievements on this game, and there's 37 of them. So, for the memory for the game, it is an 8 gigabyte game. And for the video memory, it is 4 gigabytes. But what they recommend for like the memory is 12 gigabytes and 6 gigabytes for video memory. Just so it can run good and run smooth, no issues and no problems. But this is the description. Mortal Shell is a ruthless and deep action RPG that tests your sanity and resilience in a shattered world as the remains of humanity wither and rot. Zealous foes fester in the ruins. They spare no mercy with survival demanding superior awareness, precision, and instincts. Track down hidden sanctums and devote followers and discover your true purpose. Experience the superior way to play the award-winning Mortal Shell, uncompromised 60 FPS gameplay, 40K resolution, ultra high quality textures. Upgrade for free. Witness your struggle in detail like never before. Possess Lost Warriors. The lost remains of defeated warriors are yours to discover. Awaken these mortal shells, occupy their bodies, and master unique combat styles. Iron sharpens sword. That's another part of it. Combat is strategic, deliberate, and unforgiving. Commit your sword only when an opportunity opens. Face formidable foes. Your path is guarded by adversaries devoted to inscrutable gods. Behold creatures both pitiable and grotesque, and muster your courage and face them down. So, yeah,
So
that game
badass
is
as fuck. Just
fucking
kidding.
bonkers, dude. It is fucking no. You are absolutely right. It is fucking badass. I fucking adore the idea of the game. I played it. It's so fucking hard. But see, here's the thing. I can do it. They did it right instead of Elden Ring, where they made it too difficult for some people.
Yeah.
This plays just like Dark Souls 1. Because, like, you die, you learn from, like, the first death. Because you're able to survive long enough to figure it out. And you're like, okay, this is not that bad. And then you go again, you die again, just because you're like, getting the hang of the controls. You're like, okay, whatever, my fault. And then it gets to the humble mode. You're like, oh fuck, I got too ballsy. There was an enemy behind me I didn't see the last time because I died the last time. Okay, let's try this again. Only let's keep my head on tight and on a swivel. It's a learning process with those kind of games, and Elden Ring did not do that for me. They pretty much just have fun. Oh, by the way, the first mini boss you face is a dick.
Oh,
So that is one game that I highly recommend to anybody.
yeah, I'll get that one put out there. Yeah, no, I'll definitely get that one to try then, because yes, I do want to try out that experience and see what it's like. I played Dark Souls 2, but I only played like maybe an hour of it. I didn't really put a lot of effort into it. So it
Dark
would
Souls
be.
2 is probably one of the easiest ones they've ever done.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Dark Souls 3 was the absolute joke of all of them. It was a cakewalk. Dark Souls 1, you were humbled. Absolutely humbled. You could literally have the best gear inside the game and you can still get clapped by even just normal enemies. Because they did it properly. It was the first time that I've ever seen a game to where they released it and didn't have to mess with it. They don't have to remaster the game to fix some issues. They don't have to go in and update it on a regular basis just because they keep messing it up with different code and different stuff like Destiny 2. They messed that one up. They messed that one up after they did Stasis stuff because they started messing with the code and adding new stuff in instead of just making a new game to add the new stuff in. Instead, they were like, you know what? Let's make an extension. Let's make an expansion pack. Make it glitchy as shit.
Make everyone pissed off at us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They then Sony bought them out. And they're fixing it. They're making everything balanced again, just like Destiny 1. They're making it to where you actually have to use teamwork,
As I say, like,
which Mom was talking to me about that last night whenever we were playing some Fortnite. I'm like, yeah. In my head, I was like, yeah, I've noticed that a lot of things are not as strong as usual. They fucked with my stuff. My hunter is no longer a tank build. It's more of a glass cannon now. Huh.
no. What was that? The
Because
same
if
thing
it
like in
wasn't...
Destiny 1? I think when it reached the end of its life cycle, didn't they make it where if you made a new character, your level was pretty close to someone who's like played the game for a few years? Like your power
I
level?
don't I can't remember. I didn't start that game at the very end.
Yeah, because I think I was. And like, yeah, I'm pretty sure like I didn't have to, I don't know, you started off or whatever it was, 16. Whereas like players that got it when it first launched would have to start at, whatever it was, 500 points. Or 500 power levels, sorry.
Yeah. Just like Destiny 2. Destiny 2, it was I played it from very first season.
Did you? Oh, wow.
And then I quit. I absolutely dropped the fucking game. I got bored. Which games you like that usually don't bore me because there's so much stuff to do. But it was so repetitive that I was like,
By
there's
yourself,
nothing I
yeah.
can do now.
100%. When I'm playing by
Yeah,
myself, I
exactly.
can't.
Yeah, I can't sit there and play it for hours by myself.
Yeah,
I've not even I can't even do it now.
like last night, I could have played, like if I didn't have work, I would have played with you guys, like, like for a good portion of the night. When I'm trying to stream
Right?
that
Yeah.
game, it's like a grind. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm so bored of this right now.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so fucking difficult because the game it's just repetitive. And this is the end of its life cycle. It's coming to an end for Destiny 2,
Yeah, I think
and they're
so.
going
Which
to
is too
shut
bad,
it
because
down.
has really Destiny 2 been out that long? I have to look.
Destiny 2 has been out for some time, but I don't think it's been out for a really long time.
Yeah, right? I can't say more than, like, if it's more than 5 years, I'll be blown away. Destiny 2 launch date. So it came out 2017?
Oh, that's not that long at all.
Yeah, September 6th, 2017. Longer than I thought, but yeah, still not too long.
That's definitely not long enough to where it was like they could fuck it up that badly, but they did. They
Especially because it
definitely messed
launched,
it up.
yeah, it launched free to play, right?
No, no. It did not launch free to play. You did have to buy it at first, and then they made it free
Oh,
to play.
okay, okay.
It was just like Destiny 1. It took a while for it to become free. Just they well, you have to make money from it
True,
first
yeah.
before you're able to make it free. But see, Destiny 1 blew the fuck up,
Yeah, like I said, I
and
enjoyed Destiny 1 even as like single player, like just going through it by myself pretty much. Like it wasn't bad at all.
right, yeah, it was a good fucking storyline. It was fantastic. But when Destiny 2 dropped, it was a good storyline, and then they started making the expansion packs with the first thing that they did where they messed up was they killed off one of the most popular characters in the whole game. And people were so upset that a lot of people just fucking quit. Like once Tangled Shore popped up
Yeah.
and you watched Cade die. Spoiler alert, by the way. I don't know if it's been a while, so it shouldn't be too big of a spoiler. But once he goes away and just like disappears pretty much, he's gone. And you, as the player, the exotic quest for Tingled Shore, one of them was to get his gun. You get Ace of Spades. And as soon as they put it into the exotic cipher thing, where you're able to get it just by getting enough material, I got it immediately. Because I'm a hunter.
Yeah.
I literally only became a hunter because of Cade. The only reason.
I mean, I agree with you. That's a big
Like,
risky move. When you take out a main character in a story, like, good luck to you.
yeah, it's like,
It has to be
wow, they
done
really
just right.
fucking
Like the
did this,
death
huh?
has to be honorable to, max that character's reputation.
Yeah, he literally died by taking out many people before he passed. And then now there is there's a character inside the game. His name, spoiler alert, just putting that out there again. There is a character inside of the game. His name is Crow. Well, he's the one that kills Cade.
Okay.
Not by his own malicious like intentions. He was actually hired to kill him, and because he was kind of brainwashed too. But besides the point, he killed Cade, and I'm still upset over it. Every time I pass him, like in the helm, I'm just like, motherfucker, fuck out of here. You don't belong here.
I feel you. I
I
think the game that I
I my
got that
god, dude.
feeling with, like that attached to characters, was definitely the Borderlands series. There was there was a lot of characters that I was like,
Yes, dude.
motherfucker,
Oh
he
my
dies,
god.
she dies.
Yeah, dude. Whenever Roland died, I'm like, nah, you gotta be
I know,
fucking with
right?
me. You gotta be shitting me, dude.
I even like the fact that they took Tales from the Borderland and added those characters and those deaths into the next game in
That's
Borderlands
why they
3.
got canceled.
Like, oh, just so good. I mean,
Fun, f- fun fact: they didn't get permission to make that game.
really?
They did not. They made it on their own fucking will, and
That's
they
so
got
funny.
canceled for it.
I mean,
They absolutely got canceled for
they
it,
did
and
kill
now
off
they're
my
just now
favorite
coming
character
back.
in that one. Scooter. I was so sad.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh my god, dude. I was so.
I was like, no. I won't catch a ride.
Yep. He caught a ride all the way up to heaven. That's for damn sure.
But I was gonna say, so when you were
Homie.
talking about different games and all that, just do a full circle here. If you did get a choice, Fundead, what game would you want to see remade that you would actually pre-order and invest in?
Absolutely, Sly Cooper. I would
Yeah,
pre-order it as soon as it fucking popped up. That is my childhood. I 100% that game on the PlayStation 2, and I completely completed it on the second game, the third game, and I did it on the fourth game.
wow, awesome. Would there be anything
That
you'd
is my
want?
childhood.
Would you be anything, or sorry, anything that you'd want, if there was like a special collector's edition, like anything that would really sell it for you?
Absolutely. There is always one thing that I have been hunting for years to get. I've been hunting for this ever since I played the second game. Whenever I was like 8. I even had my grandfather try to make me one. His fucking cane, bro. If that was ever inside of a special edition box, I would hop all over it. I would buy that bitch. I don't care if it was $1,000 or a fucking million. I would find a fucking way to get it the money. I would become a stripper for a fucking month. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd get that fucking game.
I mean, that is pretty iconic. That is a good collector's item to get.
Dude, it's just like the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
It's such an
That's
iconic thing. It's such an iconic tool that it's gonna be there in history.
I mean, even if they did it
Like,
like how Saints Row had their one ridiculous special edition, right? Like if you had like two canes available, I'm sure it would sell.
actually, fun fact: there is a Cooper in that family that uses two canes.
Really?
Tennessee Kid Cooper. Dude, he was fucking dope to play as. He was fucking cool. Cause see, his biggest thing was he got captured. You had to save.
Okay.
You had every single one of those family members in the fourth game. You had to save, and it went all the way into like the dinosaur age, bro.
Wow.
So, like, you were playing as a fucking Ugga Dugga man, running around whacking people with a giant fucking club. That it was a stone Cooper clan cane, but it was a club. And homie could climb up ice and everything. It fucking phenomenal. It was cool shit.
You know,
And
just
you would
talking
get
about that,
new
yeah.
costumes.
I forgot how like many good game mechanics were in Sly Cooper.
It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, like there was a lot of special abilities that were pretty neat that he had.
But to put the cherry on top of everything,
Yeah.
for everybody that is watching this and is going to be watching this, I have a little sneak peek for you
Ooh.
all, a little bit of information about the next God of War, because it's already in the makes.
Wow, really?
It is already in the makes. They've
Wow.
already made enough money to start making the new one.
That's ridiculous.
And you want to know something?
What's up, buddy?
I can tell you exactly where it's held. It's going to be in Egypt.
In Egypt. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Kratos is going to be fucking fighting Anubis, Ra, all them motherfuckers, dude. Do you know how insane that is?
That is really cool, actually. That is a good,
That is a lot of fucking gods to go through.
yeah. That's a good timeline.
And another one, tying into that, he has somebody with him to go through the Egyptian gods.
Oh.
Who this is, we do not know. But let's put it this way. Odin got his wish because Odin wanted to see Kratos
Yeah.
become the god he used to be. The monster that he used to be. Well, Heimdall got that out of him on purpose. Absolutely on purpose.
Okay.
Because Heimdall said to him, "Is this about that little brat?" Talking about Kratos' son.
Yeah.
And he immediately was like, "It is, isn't it?" Now I have every more the reason to gut him. And if you know anything about dads and how protective dads are, that set something off in Kratos. He released his spear and he immediately went back to fighting. And at the very end of the fight, he bounces his head. He bounces Heimdall's head off the ground like a fucking basketball multiple times until he kills him by choking him.
I was gonna say yeah, because I guess I never got to play the first God of War, right? The 2018 version. Um,
So,
how did they go about like explaining why he was different? You know, because obviously God of War 3, right? Like he's fucking shit up, he's killing Zeus, like you know what I mean?
so
So
with that, he literally says to Atreus, because Atreus is his son.
okay,
He's like, "Boy, I come from a long, far land from here. Completely different. Escaped from that place to live as a normal man." And I heard that. I'm like, "Oh, Kratos, buddy, you can never be normal. You can never, ever be normal at this point. You done fucked up.
yeah, you should know
Like,
that they're gonna come for
you've
you.
literally killed every fucking Pantheon in that section." And here's the crazy part. As soon as he gets to that island, to Midgard, to that section, a different section of the earth,
Yeah,
and time goes by, every single Norse god knows who he is, knows who he is, and knows where he is. And that's whenever Boulder steps in and says, "Well, I expected something a little different." And then Kratos is like, "Leave my home."
yeah.
And then he just, Boulder refuses. And then Kratos finally gets a little gruff and says, "Leave my home." And Boulder's like, "I don't think so." Turns and just socks the fuck out of him. Launches Kratos, and it's been a while since we've seen Kratos fly. Because he doesn't have his wings anymore like he did. He doesn't have the wings that he had in 3. They're gone. They went poof. They didn't
So he
explain
does
that.
lose some abilities, and from what he had in
He
number three.
loses all of them.
Okay.
Other than Spartan Rage. He doesn't lose his Spartan Rage just because, that's Kratos' thing.
Yeah.
But throughout the whole game, you see Atreus, and you're thinking to yourself, well, what's so great about this kid? Why is he so important? I know it's Kratos' son, but he's living as a normal man, and Kratos, you would think that he only got his Spartan Rage from Ares, right?
Yeah.
Uh-uh. Atreus has it too. So you see this little kid become more and more sick because he doesn't know the truth about what he is. He is a god. Atreus is a god living a normal human life. So he's just constantly getting more and more sick.
Oh,
Because
okay.
as the truth comes out, he starts getting more and more pissed off at Kratos. He's like, no, you keep lying to me. Why do you keep lying to me? This is not what a dad is supposed to do. You are not being very dad-like. He
Yeah.
just the fucking story flips from Kratos protecting Atreus to him destroying Kratos and how things are working. He's destroying the relationship by lying to him and not telling him anything.
That's pretty
Until
cool. I didn't think
Kratos
that's.
meets. Go ahead.
I said I didn't think the story would have gone that way. In all honesty, that's pretty neat. I like that. That's a good twist.
I wasn't expecting that either. I was like, okay, cool. It's gonna be like they're gonna be like buddies and they're gonna be killing shit all over the place. No, it is straight up like family drama to where it got to the point where it's like, oh, Atreus is gonna grow up with daddy issues. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Like it's bad enough that your dad is Kratos and he's fucking terrifying at that. But at the same time, you're just like, whoa, this is getting a little deep, and I'm sitting here watching this because there are no cutscenes inside the games.
Really?
It is all one solid fucking thing. It's the
Wow.
first game I've ever seen that does that. They use the cutscenes as the loading screens.
That's pretty
So therefore, while
cool.
you're doing the cutscene, it's loading the other chunks from the other maps and destroying the other ones from the other maps and breaking it down. The only cutscene you see is at the very end, and you want to know why that is?
Why is that?
Because it has to load every single chunk of the map. Because you're
Holy.
able to go through the whole thing all over again. Without doing the story, you're able to go through, get all your collectibles and everything. And fight the side quest bosses. Well, I did that. I became a smartass. I got humbled at the very end of it because I died about 8 times and beat it on the ninth time. And that is, you had to fight the Valkyries.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about those. They're a
And then
pain in
the
the ass.
Queen Valkyrie. I did it in 2 days.
Wow.
And that's actually a really, really long time. That's me literally binging the game for 2 whole days. From like 9 o'clock in the morning to like 8 o'clock at night.
What's like what?
So that's like,
I say what makes them so hard exactly? The Valkyries. I know like they are a
their
difficult
fucking
boss.
moveset.
Is it
Their
okay?
fucking moveset. They're fucking flying around and shit, able to slow down time sometimes. It's fucking annoying. Oh, so much pain and agony was into that last fight. Until I became a smart ass, figured out that I could slow down time long enough to where I can attack her before she even opens up. Because whenever you find them, they look like they're in like a little fucking cocoon thing that you find like hanging off of a bush.
Oh, okay.
And it's because they're wrapped up in their wings. Well, whenever they spread their wings out, that's whenever they come out. Well, you can do a nice bit of damage, a good chunk, at least more than half damage before she opens up. Unless you absolutely upgrade it all the way and have the best weapon inside the game, and then you literally slow down time, right? And clap her before she opens up. You get back your Kratos powers. Like, you feel like you're Kratos again. Nothing can stop you.
That's pretty cool. Okay. I can see
And
the
then
hype
once
into the
you beat
second
it,
game.
guess what? You get their armor. And in the second game, you lose all your stuff. You don't carry anything that you used to or nothing. It doesn't carry over the progress. It's like a whole brand new game again.
Oh, that's too bad. It'd be nice to carry over.
Oh, and also you lose all your skills too. But the reason for that is because he's aged without major combat. But throughout the whole time, since you killed Boulder in the first game, which causes Ragnarok to start happening, that's the whole reason why they're all like saying "fuck off, don't come at us,"
Okay.
like just be at peace and we won't go to war with you. Well, Atreus has different ideas. He knows that he's Loki at this point, and he needs answers. He needs to know who he is, and Kratos doesn't have those answers.
Yeah.
Only his mother did, and his mother died. At the very beginning of the game, his mother is dead. She died from unnatural causes, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay.
Or no, sorry, natural causes. She got sick, quote unquote
Oh,
sick.
so it wasn't like Kratos killed her or anything like that.
No. Kratos, no. It wasn't like in the first game where he got hypnotized and got forced to kill his child and wife.
Exactly, yeah.
This was, oh shit. This was like his second like go round and trying to make a living for himself. And she just fucking croaks from being sick. Are you serious? Oh, dude, homie is living a lonely life.
Well, not only
I feel
that,
like,
but I feel like
dude,
if
I'm
that,
not remarrying nobody.
I feel like if his son found out that information, that would also probably cause a lot of issues.
Actually, I think it would make things better.
Really, you think so?
It would be like if Atreus knew exactly how shit went down, not like the gods told him.
That's I mean, yeah. Like if the enemy actually said, "Hey, just so you know, he killed his first son."
His first daughter.
Oh, was his daughter? Oh, sorry.
It was his daughter and wife. And I'm sorry, but whenever he looks at Odin, after Odin says, "I know you're trying to not be the old god you once were. Now is the time to show me that you are not." And then all you see is him look up slowly and start facing him with his eyes closing and opening slowly. He's like, "If you don't return my son, you just might find that old god I once was." And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck. I'm getting fucking goosebumps, I'm starting to get teary eyed, I'm like, oh fuck. Shit's getting real. And then you see him absolutely fucking clap Heimdall, and I'm like, oh my god, he's back. Our boy is back. He's no longer a pacifist, let's go. And in the game, since Atreus is Loki, the way they got around the fucking, like, the conception of, like, the children that Loki's children are, like the wolf, the snake, everything.
Yeah.
They made it to where he transfers souls to things. Which also follows a really good line in his, like, thing. Because he is the god of mischief. Like, he's supposed to be mischievous. He's supposed to be, like, behind everyone's back and starts Ragnarok and creates this false, like, safehood with, like, Odin and Thor and all that. Well, once he actually kills Baldur and actually starts Ragnarok, the start of it, he's hunted down. And
Okay.
the coolest part about it is that he's able to shapeshift. Well, they got the shapeshifting thing inside the game too. And the first time you actually see Atreus shapeshift, is whenever he turns into a bear, and as you're playing Kratos, you have to kick the shit out of Kratos. After, you have to kick the shit out of Atreus. Like, you're using your axe, beating your own child to almost near death.
Oh my god.
And he, like, After you beat him, you're literally about to snap the bear's neck, and it starts to shrink randomly and starts to form into guess who? Atreus. And Kratos is like, "Oh my god, Atreus, Atreus!" Like you can hear the urgency in the actor's voice and the fear of like a father almost losing a child once again. The idea of, "Oh my god, I killed another one of my children." And then Atreus's eyes just like open up slowly. He's like, "I don't remember anything." And then Kratos is like, "Oh my god, thank God!" Like he just absolutely he's full of glee, and then he realizes that, oh shit, my son is all sorts of chopped up. He's bleeding all over the place, and then you get to see Atreus's godly powers come out. He heals himself by focusing, just like Kratos does in 3.
Hey man, I'm pretty impressed. Like I knew it had a good storyline, but just like actually now. Or, all right, guys. Well, Fundead's gonna go to sleep. I gotta eat some food. But like you were saying, you can catch us again next week, Tuesday at I guess what 6 p.m. is pretty decent time. We'll get this all started.